Hey everyone, I've got a fun video to share with you today. This is a makeover that I did of our office area that was just not really being utilized, and I turned it into this secondary playroom slash schoolroom that we use for our children, and it's really turned out to be this beautiful bright space that now everyone really enjoys. So that I hope that you follow along and you find something interesting for you as well. There are a couple of DIYs at the end, so I hope you stick around and let's get started. So to start off looking at this space, I just found there was a lot of dark areas. So dark floor, dark walls, dark sofa. And so I want to really go through and lighten those things up. And by doing that, bringing brightness and warmth and light into the room. So just for this, I'm actually just doing something simple. I'm adding just a stretch futon cover. And this is just an easy way to update any couch that you have in any room. Then I'm going to go ahead and address the floor. I use foam mats in my home a lot. I have very small children, so I like to try to protect their little heads when they fall and things like that. And also it just saves a lot of breakage of things that get thrown and knocked down and that gets knocked over. So I recommend it, especially if the rug is thin. So I put this down first, and then I put that rug down over it. And I'm going to use some carpet tape to hold that down and secure. Now you can see there's already a big improvement just with those two changes. So now I'm going to go ahead and add in some beautiful vinyl adhesive stickers that I found, as well as some removable adhesive wallpaper. The reason that I'm going to use a removable wallpaper is I don't necessarily want to ruin these wooden panels. You could paint this instead if you want to brighten up this area, but just in case I would like to go back to this, I want to be able to take it down. Then I add in some beautiful woodland type creatures to this area. So I was kind of inspired by a recent trip that we took to Disneyland, and so I wanted to kind of create a magical woodland type escape that was similar to what you would see in a Disney fairy tale. So somewhat of like the Bambi, or Cinderella, or the Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, these kind of old school fairy tales that we remember with the the nature scenes and things like that. I found that very inspiring, so I wanted to kind of create that and bring that into this room. I got this beautiful yellow swing that's going to add to the whimsy of the room, as well as this trunk as a practical piece, but adds to that kind of magic as well. And the feeling that I want to create in this room is just a sense of magic, really. So not only just a bit of a Disney theme when I think about my inspiration piece, but adding that magic into the room. So I'm going to take that white backdrop and go ahead and add that to the built-ins as well. And this really brightens up the space. I add in some of these mushrooms onto that wall panel, and you see that I kind of put them back and forth in a staggered pattern. That's so that when I place the shelves in, they kind of line up with that, and I can still put decor on the shelves, and you'll be able to see those little fairies and the mushrooms that are in that area. I couldn't help myself. I had to get this Aladdin's genie in a bottle lamp from Amazon. It just was such a cute piece. I was such a big fan of Aladdin growing up, and Princess Jasmine, so I had to add this piece into the arrangement as well, setting into the Disney theme. I add in a couple of nice trinkets there, a picture of my son and I with our fairy wings on, and it just really makes that space look nice. Now I have these butterfly stickers as well, but these are actually 3D stickers, and I'm going to add them to this wall, and they are in a rainbow pattern, which really turned out to be a nice piece. I got these from Amazon, so I'll go ahead and link them in the description below if you're interested. But I just love the way that these turned out in this whimsical look of the room, and also my children really enjoy this feature as well. Now turning attention to this side of the room, I'm going to go ahead and add in a reading nook for the children, so a little bit of a house, as well as add in some curtains to help brighten up this side of the room. I think the curtains are important. You want to make sure they're floor length, so I have them as high as the ceiling. They really add that beautiful drama. And then we built this metal frame house as a little reading nook area to add to the room. So this turns out really well. I had this rainbow canopy in, these rainbow baskets to help complement that, and just a little bit more of that whimsy with the hot air balloons, lanterns there, and that rainbow camp painting that I had made. So one of the things that made me laugh is my son added this train set to the edge of our reading nook. I thought that was so cute, and so I left it there for his little addition to the styling element. So for our lighting in this room, it was pretty dim, and so I actually added one of these lighting splits. So you want to make sure that that functions with your electrical of your unit, but for mine it was fine, and I used LED lights just in case as well, so they don't produce any heat. And then I added those beautiful balloon glass bulbs. They were actually from the Christmas section from both Hobby Lobby and Michael's this past year. So they were definitely a nice addition. Now for the first DIY, you guys know that I like to do tree branch DIYs if you've been around my station for long. And so I actually got this off of one of my trees, and the first thing that I do is use the coconut oil or avocado oil or olive oil, whatever you have, and I polish the branches. And you'll see that this makes a huge difference. This is off of a myrtle tree. I like a myrtle tree because it doesn't have the bark on it as a regular tree would, but you can see when you rub this branch here with that, how it just shines right up, and it's perfect. It's ready to go. And then I got these string lights that I wrap around the branches with these hanging flowers that I got off of Amazon. I can link them for you, and I use those string lights to anchor those flowers into place so that they can drape down from these tree branches and give it a little bit of a wild or natural appearance to those flowers. After I attach the flowers and run the lights up and down the branches, I got these different assortments of birds. This was also something that I got after Christmas in the discount aisle. Some of them from Walmart, some of them from Hobby Lobby, and I added them into the branches to add that little bit of whimsy and to play into our kind of forest Disney theme. This turns out so spectacular, especially in real life. And I was thinking while looking at this, could you imagine even doing this, not just for, a whimsical or magical playroom that you might be doing, but if you had any type of event like a baby shower or a wedding or something like that, to create these types of centerpieces, they would also be really magical for that type of event. So you keep other areas in mind where you might be able to utilize this type of DIY. I think my favorite moment was when I lit this up and my 1-year-old was standing in the room and looked up and said, "Wow," that was my cue that it was a really good DIY. So the next DIY was a fairy garden DIY. This was a really fun one. We actually got this box, which was for a football. It's a shadow box, and then we added some fairy lights and some moss. We got these two the house and the gate from Hobby Lobby to add in there, and then we took some glass to add in as a little bit of a pathway, and this kind of creates a sparkle. So instead of using a rock shell, I liked using this glass that I got from Michael's. Now we layer in a little bit more of the colored moss. We add in some real quartz crystals to this, and also a couple of fairies that I got off of Amazon. I can also link those in the description below to really give this a magical effect. The glitter is going to help reflect the light from the fairy lights and also add to the magic of this piece. This is something that was a lot of fun to do and create with my children, and something that we can look at as almost like a nightlight in the room. I got some pretty neat bulbs also from Amazon that give this really interesting rainbow effect that I added in behind this piece. So we were really pleased with the way that this room turned out. It has a lot of whimsy to it and a lot of magic, and I had to add in a couple princess elements as well. As you may or may not know, I have 4 children, and I just had twins, and one of them is a little girl. So this room I wanted to add in a little bit of the feminine touches as well, just because the other room in the house is a little bit more masculine for the boys. And so I did add in a little bit of the princess element to the Disney theme. You'll see there's an area with some Disney crowns, as well as in that one glass cabinet I added a little retraction bar and hung up some of her dresses just to have it be a little bit of a princess dress area, so that way that she gets a little bit of the attention in this area as well. And of course, what Disney theme room would not be complete with some slippers and some Beauty and the Beast pieces that we got while we were at Disneyland. And every Disney room, I think, needs a princess crown. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video of bringing in this kind of woodland Disney theme. And I hope that you got some inspiration of something that you can do in your own home. If you had questions about anything, please let me know in the comments below. If you liked this video, it would be really awesome if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I like to do DIY videos, I do home decor and styling videos, and so if that's something that you're interested in, stick around and hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.